Alright, hello everyone. Got another physics problem here. So for this one, we're told a couple details about, I guess, you have some money, and we want to know what kind of bills do you have. So with these word problems, the trick is we're really just converting sentences to math. That's all we're doing. Let's get the facts straight. First of all, I know there's 240 bills. 240 pieces of paper. I know they total $16,000. And there are two types of bills. Only 20s and hundreds. Okay. And then ultimately, we want to combine all this information to know how many of each bill. How many 20s and hundreds. Okay. So, here's the facts. Now, the first thing we really need to do is we need to define a variable. And we need to define our variable really carefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a variable. I'm going to call it h, and I will define h as the number of $100 bills. So it's a number. It's not a dollar. It's not $100. It's a number. How many of these $100 bills do I actually have? Similarly, I will define another one, t, as the number of 20s. Okay, now so you already kind of put together this piece of information down here. So let's try this information. There's 240 bills. Well, that's easy enough. H plus T equals 240. There's some number of hundreds, some number of 20s. If you add up how many there are, you'll get 240 bills. And then we also know that total, these things add up to $16,000. So if I have H $100 bills, then each one will contribute $100. If I have T $20 bills, then each one will contribute $20. And this adds up to $16,000, my total amount. Okay, so the question actually asked how many of each one do we have? So why don't we solve for T? So using this equation, T must equal 240 minus H. Now I can plug in T down here, and I'll be down to one equation and one variable. Started out with two equations, two variables, and now we're putting them together. So we get 100 H plus 20. Now plugging in my H, 240 minus H equals 16,000. So then what are we going to get here? We're going to get H, we'll get 100 minus 20 equals 16,000 minus 20 times 240. So H equals 16,000 minus 20 times 240. H equals 11,200 divided by 80. The 80 I'm getting from this 100 minus 20. And whatever this number is, it better be a whole number. I can't have 16.5 $100 bills. And actually, if I do this, I will get 140 $140 bills. 140 $100 bills. So then, therefore, my T, because I know they add up to 140, must be equal to 100. So we started with the words of the problem, and we just translated each important sentence into a mathematical equation. That's what we're doing up here. And now the really crucial part that I think is important is this variable definition. Make sure you define your variables really carefully and think about what they mean. For us, it meant the number of dollar bills. So I used that information properly. You could have also defined these H's as the value of the $100 bills that you had. So I could have it could have been how much money my hundreds contribute to. I could have also solved the problem that way, but you have to be really careful because it would be solved a little bit differently. But once we have two equations and two unknowns, we're done. Then we just solve for one of them, plug it into the other, and solve.